Good morning, everybody. This is Laurel from the North Raleigh Seed Library, and I have makeup on this morning because I'm going to Jim Putnam's open garden tour, and I'm so excited about this. This is the last time he's going to have it, I think, for a little while, and it's an annual thing, so it's my first time seeing it. I absolutely cannot wait. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I'll see if I can get some pictures. If they let us do a video, I'll do one from there. So we will check it out. But this is our weekly You Asked For It Friday book club. I love the name that Adriana gave it because basically I'm just reading what's on our Facebook page. It's all the I wants from all of our North Raleigh Seed Library members. But before we start, I have to tell you something so funny that happened this week. So UPS guy comes to the house and he's driving his big brown truck and he's out in the cul-de-sac and I have to intercept him, right? Because Mike's on the couch and he can see out the window. So I walk down the driveway and he's toot, toot, toot. He gets out with my package. And I walk up and I put my hand on his arm and I said, "Do you know how you are different than the lady from the other company?" And he's like, "No." And I said, "She knows not to toot the horn when my husband's home. Now I got to hide this package under all my mail." So anyway, he just started laughing. And as he drives away, he went toot, toot, toot. So anyway, I got some more ideas for the garden and I was so excited about them. And you know what, they're just too good to hold. But I have a want for the column this week that I'm looking for. So I'll throw that out there when it's time. All right, so I feel like there's a little bug flying around. So if I'm doing this weird thing with my hands, I'm trying not to get swarmed. Oh my word, I have to tell you what happened. I told this to my friend the other day and it still got me chuckling. I got a bee in my shirt. So it was like one of those little tiny, like yellow jackety looking bees, the mean ones. And I must have leaned over and planted to plant something and it flew right in there. And I got stung on my stomach and then up on my chest, right? And so I told my friend I finally got a bee cup. Haha. So anyway, oh, it's too good to keep. Those are I call them stoplight jokes. Like they're until you get to a stoplight one day and then you're running through your head and then you're like, and the person next to you thinks that you're on the phone, but really you just had a random thought. So here goes. Ready? I'm going to read what Adriana always writes. You Asked For It Friday. Are you looking for that special plant to grow your collection? Ask and you may find it here. Please make arrangements to meet or porch pickup. Happy gardening, friends. Here we go. The first one is Marilyn Gist. If you meet Marilyn, it's not gist, it's gist. So, anyone have any swamp pink gentian sabbatia to share? A native wet area plant that is flowering now. She took a photo and she posted it. Can you see it? I don't know if this is like TV. You know how like when you try to do a camera picture like with a TV and it comes up jacked? Well, we'll see. So anyway, it's a sabbatia to share, a native wet area plant that is flowering now. Here's a photo I took at the JLBG Juniper Level Botanical Gardens. Tell you, doing this for a while, I'm starting to get it. A couple of days ago, they aren't selling it at present. It was gorgeous and I have a wet area perfect for it. So if you have one of those, please get up with Marilyn Gist. Sarah Smith, I'm looking for some creeping thyme and a good low ground cover that can tolerate poor soil and west sun. And Florence C says, does anyone have extra sweet potato slips? And I just want to thank Florence C so much because she reached out to me with an alternative for the spiral staircase, but I had already bought the spiral staircase, but it was a great alternative and I appreciate you keeping me in mind. So like the spiral staircase, that was another incident where Mike was home and I may have purchased it without prior authorization. And so my wonderful FedEx girl, she shows up and I meet her out front. She helps me hide it right behind the trash can cover. I may have told you all this. I can't remember. But anyway, we got it into the truck without Mike knowing. And it was very, very difficult. But it can be done to close your tailgate without it making a sound. So if you need any tips, I can help you. Here goes. Janet, oh, wait. Lan Ang Hong says, Florence C., I have one Japanese sweet potato. If you want, Let me know when you have a chance to visit the North Raleigh Seed Library and I will drop it there for you. And then Florence replied, and Florence said, thank you. I can also pick it up from you if it's easier. I will PM you. I love it when everybody is just working together and, you know, we don't do holds. So for her to be able to say, I'll come meet you there, what a great way to make a new friend and to share a plan. I love this. Okay, here we go. Next one, Judy Russo. If you haven't met Judy, you got to meet her. She has got the most bubbly, charming, kind personality. You will enjoy her. So thank you, Kathy Sink. Kathy Sink's our tomato lady. Remember she gave a class a while back at one of the garden centers that we visited. Thank you for finding me the 36-inch round outdoor coffee table. I've searched for a year. It was just delivered. I love our fellow gardeners in North Raleigh Seed Library. Now I'm looking for something very narrow and heavy to drag my hose around a sharp corner. The new driveway and walkway created a hazardous sharp angle where my camellia tree is planted. It could be something very sturdy, sunk in the ground, or a very heavy vertical statue of some sort. I think I need to find a place like a garden store that carries a useful mixture of outdoor things. Another garden center is now. Now Marilyn replied, and she said, 3 ideas I use for dragging hoses around tight corners. Hammer an 1/18 inch length of rebar into the ground at the corner, leaving maybe 8 inches above the ground, and put an empty wine bottle upside down over it. The wine bottles need to have flat bottoms so they rotate easily when you pull the hose past them. I use blue ones from anyway, she uses blue ones. Angle the rebar just slightly outward from the corner. You could also put a length of copper or other pipe over the rebar, maybe with a cool finial glued on top. You just want something that rotates on the rebar. That's a great idea. So it turns, well, I love it. Okay, find an inexpensive used heavy concrete or clay planter and fill them with potting mix and plant something in them. Place it at the corner. Round ones work better than square ones. Just saying. Or number 3, a heavy decorative concrete statuary placed at the corner also works. A friend gave me one of those feng shui Chinese lions about 18 inches tall that came with the new house she bought, and it's heavy enough that the hose can't budge it. Well, that's a good idea. So I gave up on all the hose guides you buy in stores. They never go deep enough in the ground and they always break or rip out of soft soil. I'm really loving the wine bottle thing. That's a really good idea. Thank you, Marilyn. And then Florence C. Judy Russo, any chance you can take a photo of what you're looking for? I'm having a hard time imagining it. All right, so Judy, if you'll post that. And then Lan Ong Hong, anyone have this flower to share, please? Okay, it's this one. Let's see if this works again. Okay, all right. Hold on, my cord keeps coming out because prior planning prevents poor performance for those people that did all those just boring workshops in the 90s. But there's truth in that. I should have charged this. Okay, so Rohani Sabtan Hakim replied. She said, is this blue globe Gilia? And let's see, there were 4 replies. It looks like Gilia from Lan Ong. Can you tell me how to pronounce that? Just text me direct and just like, I don't know, say it sounds, my Southern is awful. It's sort of like, okay, so I'm getting ready to do this project and there's a French word for it, right? And my boss used to crack up all the time because I would have to order like French wine for events and I couldn't pronounce it without my Southern, and it always came out kind of wonky. It's sort of like the horse divorce, you know, for hors d'oeuvres. Avis. But anyway, I'm getting ready to do this thing and it's got French in it and I'm just embarrassed to even try to pronounce it because, so anyway, so Lan Ong Hong, if you could please just DM me and phonetically tell me how to pronounce your name because you're awesome and I want to do it right. So here goes. It looks like Gilead, but it's not. I do have the Gilead seed somewhere that harvested from my plant a few years ago. Your picture reminded me of them. Need to sow that next season. And Rohani Sabtan Hakim says to Adriana, yes, you're right. Oh, get off the cord, please. Thank you. And then I'm not sure about the name. that's why I posted the photo. Maybe blue lily of the Nile. And then Adriana says agapanthus, perhaps. So if anybody knows, here, I'll put it up one more time, what that plant is right there, can you please let us know either on Facebook or on the YouTube channel. That would be great. Okay, so now that looks like everything this week. So that was pretty fast and quick, and hopefully we can get you guys some really good things for your garden. Okay, here's my thing. Ready? I am looking for, and just crappy stuff because I don't want to buy it, right? For the Alice in Wonderland garden, I still love it. You know, it's the bushes. It has the scene inside, and anyway, as it's closed up with all the rose bushes on top, it's gotten kind of dark in there. So I figured, what's a good way to bring in light without bringing in light? Why don't I hang the little chandelier crystals in there from the frame, and just it'll have a little twinkle. So I'm looking for chandelier crystals that I can hang inside of the fairy garden. Now, if I'm not here next week, that means I crawled inside in those rose bushes that cover the top got me. Somebody please get me out. You can find me by my shoes. Okay, now the other thing, and I'm so excited about this. All right, I was watching one of the YouTube videos, right? And I saw in the background, it was somewhere overseas, and I saw in the background, they had this really cool, like 2 wide arch, and it crossed over like if this is your arm and this is the arch. Me and my arms look big this close up. Maybe I should, anyway, yeah. Okay, so imagine that they cross over like this, right? And then right here's a hook, and the hook is for a whale arch. A whale arch. Oh, I got to tell you about whales. So several jobs ago, my boss had a friend, and she was from Connecticut. And I'll never forget it because she had a daughter, and her daughter's name was Lauren, and she was young. And so her friend from Connecticut with a northern accent called, and she said, "Is my boss there?" And I said, "No, she's not. She's at home. Her daughter's not feeling well." And she screamed. She said, "Lauren fell in a well." No, Lauren's not feeling well. So anyway, we've had a good laugh about that for many, many, many years, but it just reminded me. So back to the whale arch. Man, my arms look really bad. Okay, so anyway, what it is, you would have the hook, which I have one of those antique hooks back. Remember when Restoration Hardware had all the, what is it called? You know, like the warehousey looking stuff that was, oh, there's a word for it, I can't remember. Anyway, so they had a big pulley system, and it was wood on each side, and it had the metal hook that hung down, and you had a rope and you would pull it. Yeah. So apparently for whales, way back in the day, and probably still this day, but not the same, they had decorative whale arches, and you hung the pulley in the center off the hook. And I was thinking, you know, I have over where that table is, the rose hedge that I made. Wouldn't it look so cool to have a whale arch with a hook that has the pulley, the round pulley with the wood exposure? So I got metal here, wood pulley with a metal hook, and a hanging basket. And that would be in the backdrop of the rose bush hedge. Oh, yeah. I have a feeling me and my FedEx lady are going to be fast friends at the end of this project. So I went online and I'm looking everywhere. And of course they're $5 million. And no, I'm not that brave. There's another bee. And I swear I'm keeping my shirt tight. So anyway, so I started looking at arches, you know, the teepee ones. And I wondered if I couldn't get some metal clippers. And you know how, geez Louise, if I get bit, this is going to turn in a book club into an action movie. So anyway, so if I have something that has this little, you know, decorative little cross looking thing, and then I have the arch, and I cut out all the trellis stuff on the inside, and then I hang my pulley from the center, and then I put my hanging basket. It's the same thing, right? Yes, Yes. So if you're bored and you want to research, look up antique, don't look at the price, antique whale arches. And again, there's a French word for it, but I'm not doing it. So we're friends, but we're not that close. I either have to be employed and you're giving me a paycheck for me to pull that off, or I'll do my Southern accent like if I'm giddy one day. I don't know. All right. Oh, no, not Southern, my French accent. So I'm being distracted by a dog who's the size of a pony who wants to go in the house. So I better let her in and let her get comfortable because it's time for her to watch TV with me. All right. I am going to the Jim Putnam thing today. Hope to see you there. Oh, don't forget, there's like this massive traffic jam today. We've got the Hurricanes that won the Stanley Cup. Yay! I'm not a sports person, but I felt like it was called for. And anyway, it's going to be packed downtown. We've got the Juneteenth celebration. They've got tons of events. That's going to be packed downtown. So be careful driving, everybody, and have a great weekend. And I will see you next time I have a wild idea. Bye. Or next Saturday when we're doing the weekly book club. See ya. And it's not a book club, remember. Bye.